What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we are going to be talking about this beautiful beast. This is the Custom Knife Factory one-off muscle from Tashi Baruka. Ho, 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 ho. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Okay. Woo! Boy, am I excited about this knife. This is the Custom Knife Factory muscle. This one's a little bit different though. This is a one-off. Custom Knife Factory does a lot of wonderful collaborations, some that you've already seen on the channel. I love their work. Absolutely love everything that I have touched from Custom Knife Factory. Oh, they're just really, really good. Now, the only problem with most of the models that come out of Custom Knife Factory is they are collaborations with custom knife makers, and they do very limited runs. I am not sure how many of the regular muscle came with, but this one is number 486. I didn't see that on the unboxing because of the you can maybe be able to see that it's right there, because they do also one-off customs where they do really badass custom work to an already badass knife. This one, I just want you to see. We'll get behind the camera in a little while, but look at this finish that it has on the blade and on the scales. Just absolutely amazing. It's almost like a battle-worn look to me, is what I think of whenever I see it. And it really tickles my fancy. Now, this is the first Tashi Baruka, I'm going to murder that probably throughout the whole thing, design that I've ever had. Now, I was really close before I purchased the Custom Knife Factory Evo, which was an all-time grail of mine. I was so close because I couldn't find an Evo. Man, it was so hard to come by that knife. But I saw so close to buying another design by Tashi Baruka, the Justice. I'm really glad I didn't, even though I wanted that knife. It was very expensive. These one-offs are very expensive because of the custom work that goes into them. But I'm glad I didn't, because it was seriously like right before I found the Evo. And if I would have spent the money on the Justice, I wouldn't have been able to purchase the Evo. So it worked out in my favor. And then, of course, Kyle Lanphere, the man himself. I love that guy. This is his knife. I will have his YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff linked down below. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and bloop, put his YouTube channel right here. Kyle's been an amazing support to the channel. I've bought some knives from him. I've sent some knives to him for review. He has sent me a lot more. And his collection is epic. We also are very similar in our taste. I am a big guy. He is a big guy. We both have big hands, even though his is a lot longer than mine. And we have the same taste because we both like the bigger stuff, but we also have the same taste in just style. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so very, very happy to have this in hand and be able to use. Now, I didn't use this thing a lot. All of his knives are basically users, and he always tells me, use them, cut them. But I still only cut certain things for my EDC tasks just to get an idea on how the blade does. Now, this one is, of course, full titanium. It says M390 steel. And I'll see if you can see the Custom Knife Factory logo there with the Tashi Baruka logo. And, oh, man, is this thing just beautiful. Now, not everybody likes this kind of finish. You know, my good friends, Lefty EDC and Jake from Bearded Gear, they were like, why do you have a dirty knife? I was like, jackasses, this is the way it's supposed to look. I dig this. I really dig the way that they did the scales on this. It's just beautiful to me. Now, the regular one looks really good as well. And of course, the price tag on those, I can't remember what they go for. I mean, obviously the one-offs go for a lot more, but yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful knife, and it's my size, baby. I love this thing. It's a big one. So as you can see, the profile of this knife and the way the ergonomics are, They fit my hand, but I can see how it might be a little different for everybody's hand because you have a very big, forward choil, I guess, here in the handle. Then it comes up to this area and then swoops back. So my 2 fingers fit in that area well, and then my 3rd finger is actually behind that point, and so it really feels good in my hand. And then, of course, this little, it's kind of like a harpoon, but not just just a thumb swoop. It is in the perfect position for my thumb to ride right there, and it is so comfortable. So comfortable. I love the way this knife feels in hand. Obviously other grips is not going to be as comfortable because of that, like a reverse draw cut and all that other junk. But the way that this knife just naturally fits in my hand is amazing. It's probably going to be different for a lot of other people if your hands aren't so big, or if they're even a little bit bigger. I think it fits in Kyle's hand, the second best Kyle, by the way. Very well. So if you have smaller hands, you may not even be looking at this knife because it is quite large, but it's amazing. Okay. So one thing about Custom Knife Factory that I have really grown to love is their actions. Their actions are almost always just nailed. This one is a flipper. So you can see this really cool flipper tab. It sticks out, but I really like the way it kind of swoops and has this, big arc that continues from here to the top of the knife. The detent on this thing, as soon as you break it, it fires out of there. You can see just that. So that was me just barely getting to the break point. This thing fires out like with authority, and it has such an awesome sound. Oh, jeez. Some people call me crazy, but I love a good sounding knife. Whenever it fires out and locks up, it just gets my juices flowing. This one gets my juices flowing. It is a very, very nice flipper, and the close shut action, smooth as butter. It is absolutely amazing. This big old chunk of M390, just by the weight. And it's not like this. Okay, so this is the Custom Knife Factory 523. So this knife is a guillotine, like hardly no resistance. This one is just so smooth, and by the weight of the knife, a very controlled fall shut. And I'll be honest with you, I like them both. I like both styles of action. Sometimes this right here, I love just doing that all day long, and then other times I like something that is like, it's like a finger guillotine. I love them both. And Custom Knife Factory, their actions are always spot on. So this knife, like I said, full titanium M390, it does have this wonderful, which just sets this knife apart. The milling pattern on this, as you can see, in each section is a different milling pattern. The machining that goes into this knife is just out of this world. There is your pocket clip, a 1-screw pocket clip, which is interesting. But as you can see, these lines here coincide with the lines in the scale. Just freaking awesome. And then, of course, these lines in here, it's a little bit broken up because of the way the lines are kind of diced, but the lines are horizontal. I freaking love what they did. And the Justice was the same way. It's what appealed to me when I looked at the Justice one-off. But I'm really glad I didn't buy that knife, because if I'm going to buy a Tashi Peruka design, it's probably going to be this guy because I love it that much. Now, if I can find one, right? Because they are limited runs. I don't know if I would buy a one-off because of the price hike that you get, even though they're a lot more rare. But because of the price hike there, I don't know if I would actually buy a one-off. But who knows? I've been known to be wrong about that before. Only complaints that I have about this knife, there is just a tad bit, just a little bit of detent rock there. That usually does not bother me, and it doesn't bother me on this knife. It's just something that is there. You can just see that blade move just a little bit, and you can kind of feel it in the flipper tab. But it doesn't hinder the performance of the knife or anything like that. The blade shape on this guy, I really dig. Now, you guys know that I'm not usually a fan of recurves, but this is such a slight recurve that not going to bother me at all right there. I love this harpoon style. I guess it's not really a harpoon blade shape, but I love the way that this is just for the ergonomics for my thumb to lamb. Huge swedge. And then, of course, this, it is a cutter. I mean, it slices so well. Let's go ahead. I mean, we're going to do some more specs in a little bit, but now I'm curious. So it's about 25 thousandths behind the edge or so. And I'm not sure how many times this has been sharpened, or if it has been sharpened. I really don't know. But yeah. Oh, so it is running on multi-roll bearings. I can't remember if I said that or not. And then that contributes to this wonderful, wonderful action. They're kind of encased in a plastic, but it's multi-roll ceramic bearings, and does it feel just amazing. So yeah, I've got some other custom knife factory knives that we're going to put this up against. So we're going to turn the camera around and do that. So let's go ahead and do that, and so get you a good idea on how big this knife is. All right, so let's go ahead, get a close-up again of, there's your M390 right there. Get a close-up of this wonderful freaking anno job and the milling patterns that are on this knife. This huge titanium backspacer, which does contribute to the weight of the knife. But you guys know me, and I don't care. Get you a good look at the finish on this blade. Just this worn look. It does so much more for me. So as you can see here, it doesn't have a sharpening choil. And I've noticed that on quite a bit of other knives that I really, really enjoy that don't have a sharpening choil. And I really don't know why they don't put it on there. You know, it's fine, but like on this Spartan Harsey folder, it just kind of stops there, no sharpening choil. I don't know why they do that. There's probably a reason, but I would probably myself personally like to have a finger choil. It's just one of those things for me, but it definitely flows through this knife. I mean, if it had a finger choil in there, it might be aesthetically not as pleasing, but I don't think I would mind it personally. This thing is 9.33 inches long, so definitely a large knife with a blade length of 3.9, a little over that, so right under 4 inches. Has a cutting edge though of 4.152, because you can see here the scale ends here, and so that's where they're getting the blade length, but the cutting edge itself does go all the way past that. So that's why the cutting edge is, over the 4-inch mark, which of course a lot of people love. I think I would rather have a forward finger choil, but I will say that ergonomically, I can put my finger up here and choke up, and because there's not a finger choil there, I don't have to worry about the little hook that comes with that. So choking up on this knife makes it even more ergonomic, even without the forward finger choil, because it has this little flat area, and this may be the whole design of the knife for you to be able to do that. I am not sure, but it is a very good grip. If you get this knife, this is a grip that whenever I was cutting, just to test the knife out, that I held it in. I mean, it's still comfortable right back here with my thumb on this, but holy moly, being able to choke up on this knife really, really does it justice. So let's go ahead and see how big this guy is compared to other knives. We've already seen the Custom Knife Factory 523. The 523 is the big one. There's a 520 that is the smaller version, and this one is considered to be a big knife. So as you can see, the muscle is a little bit larger, and so yeah, definitely full-size knife. Let's see what it is compared to my other Custom Knife Factory, which is my Grail knife. This is the Custom Knife Factory Evolution from Rotten Design, and it dwarfs that. So, and this is considered to be a big knife. So yeah, it's one of those guys, and I love it. There is one other knife here that is not a Custom Knife Factory, but one of my bigger knives that I would like to put up against this guy, and that is the Midgard Messer Viking. And as you can see, they're pretty close in overall size. This is also a knife that I was able to purchase from Kyle Lanphere, who was the guy who let me borrow this one because he's so freaking awesome. Yeah, and this, of course, is one of my favorite knives in my collection. A lot of people look at this knife and go, why? And then I, of course, go, why do you not have one? Because I love that thing. So yeah, I'm a huge Custom Knife Factory fan. This one is Midgard Messer out of Germany. And they are starting to make more models, and I'm really excited about that as well. So maybe I'll be getting more of that brand because this knife is just money. But as you can see, these knives are really similar in overall length. You got a little bit wider handle, a little bit thicker handle on this guy. Let's put them up. You know, I like a thicker handle. Actually, I don't know about that. About 6'12", and about... yeah, the muscle is actually thicker than the Midgard Viking. That's interesting. And that probably contributes to a lot of the comfort of this knife because I like it to feel my hand, and it really, really does. But yeah, I didn't even notice that though. So the fact that it is thicker, in hand, it feels amazing. And so I really didn't, I would have never in a million years actually said, if I was a betting man, I'd have lost that bet. So all in all, this knife is definitely one that speaks to me. I'm going to have to get a Tashi Baruka design in the collection at some point. Hopefully it will be a Custom Knife Factory collaboration just because I am such a huge fan of those. And yeah, I freaking love this knife and am very grateful to Kyle Lanphere for allowing me to get this in hand. And I had so much fun. I really don't want to return this knife. And, you know, I'm sure that for the right price, I might be able to get it off of him. But because I bought this dead gum thing, I can't. So yeah, golly, I don't know. Maybe if I can sell some stuff because I like this knife that much. If you have the opportunity to buy a muscle, I mean, a one-off is one thing because they are a lot more expensive. But if you have an opportunity to purchase a muscle, you know, the regular garden variety, it is just as good as this, and you know, it's just not as cool looking in my opinion because of the finish that is on this blade, but the design itself is absolutely money, and I love it. Guys, go right now down below, check out Kyle Lanphere's YouTube page and Instagram, follow and subscribe to him. He is one hell of a dude, one of my great friends in this community. Stay safe, guys, in this freaking crazy world that we are living in. And we will see you in the next one.